Welcome back to Leaving the Lies and Speaking Your Truth. We're here with part 2 of our interview with Karen McMillan. And at the end of part 1, I asked Karen a question about what happened to her marriage, where did her marriage ultimately go, and how did she manage to move forward with her life after leaving the House of Yahweh. And we're going to let Karen answer that question. Go ahead, Karen.
So, at the time, I was working part-time at Publix, which is a southern grocery store. I worked in the bakery, and it was more or less just to kind of make ends meet while I was in nursing school. Little extra money here and there. And between the little incidents with the, having my daughter pick up the trays and other little things that had happened, I'd finally had enough. And so I started looking around, and I found a completely based on your income housing. So I moved my children and myself into a 3-bedroom apartment that I paid $8 a month for.
Wow.
Because it was completely based on your income. At that time, I still was working at Publix. I was still going to nursing school. Friends would, the friends I used to drop the children off at, they would actually come over to my apartment to watch the children for me. And, it was during that time he and I became separated several times. We tried to work it out, but it was kind of too late. Because quite honestly, I just couldn't forgive. That was, I always say it was on me, even, as things got way down the line and things became better, I know it was my decision, and I'm the one that said enough's enough. And so initially it was real difficult because, the lawyers would say, you've got to trust him to take them to the feasts. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you know how many people are fighting to get their family members out of there? You want me to trust him to take our, at that time, 6 and 3-year-old 24 hours away? No. And a lot of that was bitterness on my part.
Now, were your parents still in the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. At that time, they had completely cut me off. I didn't see them. I didn't speak with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Wow, Karen, you were an island. You were an island. You had to feel very, very alone at that point. That's and are you going to nursing school too at this point?
Yes.
Wow.
I had already finished my associate in science degree, so I had all my backups. So at this point, I was actually in clinicals, which is rough. That's where you're actually learning how to take care of patients, and you have to formulate care plans and then all this stuff. But yeah, it was very difficult.
So you were going through a divorce, you were getting out of a cult, you were living in low-income housing, you were working part-time, you were going to school. I mean, your family had disconnected from you. I mean,
and raising 2 kids.
And how are you handling all this? How are you doing this?
Quite honestly, that is when one of the girls that I worked with in the bakery, she was a single mother as well. And she introduced me to her brother, who was a single father as well, and later became my husband. But anyway, not at that point.
Right.
And we kind of developed just a little group of taking care of each other's kids. And
oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, we would take care of each other's kids based on our work.
So that this eliminated the cost of childcare. Is that why?
Exactly. Exactly. So there'd be times I'd have 5 kids in my house. There'd be times I'd have just my 2. And my now husband, Sean, he would always wonder, because even though I'd left, I would still sit on the placemat during my period, so I'd be at home, in my own apartment, and he'd be like, what the hell are you sitting on that for? And so we developed a very good friendship, even closer than his sister and I. But it was very, difficult at first, just the whole, yeah, I'll watch your kid, but I really don't want to get too close to another man kind of deal.
Right.
But that's ultimately how I met my now husband, was through his sister, and just all of us as single or going through divorced parents trying to make ends meet. And,
Wow.
they couldn't afford childcare. I couldn't really afford childcare. And ultimately how it ended up.
Huh.
Okay, so you met him. You're going through a massive storm in your life. Okay, I need for you to tell me, Karen. Why? Here we go. Why am I the only crier?
What? One more time?
Why am I the only crier in this one? So here's my thing. Take us home. You graduated nursing school. What happened then?
When I graduated from nursing school, at that time, my husband and I were together. That was 2 years down the road. My ex-husband and my mom and dad came to my graduation pinning, and I can remember standing up there, and one of the things they ask during the pinning ceremony is for the people who supported the nurse to stand up. And I can remember looking out there and seeing my mom and dad standing up, and my ex, while the true person who stood beside me just sat.
Wow.
That just kind of spoiled the whole ceremony for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, you guys were telling me I was filling my children with demons, and yet you're going to stand there and say you supported me. It wasn't.
No, basically you were forced to sit there and swallow more lies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And try to say, oh yeah, this is the truth, when you knew that wasn't the truth.
Right. And I'm standing on stage in front of all my classmates, other families, I mean.
Hopefully they'll watch this and they'll know the truth now.
I would like to take a minute and I would like for you to. And are you guys getting feedback of me talking?
We are getting a little feedback with you.
I'm taking a little bit right now.
Okay. Maybe if I step back.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
I'm going to sit very still like this and not talk as loud. I want everybody to realize that you are a mother of 2, single, had just come out of a cult, living in low-income housing, probably on food stamps, doing the best that you could with a part-time job. You graduated nursing school. Karen, I would like for you to sit there and tell the people a quick overview of everything that you've done. from the awards that you've won to the things that you have created for women who have lost their children, to all of that. Just real quick.
Started in labor and delivery, and I became a perinatal bereavement coordinator. I started a support group for families who had lost an infant, miscarriage, stillbirth, or early infant death. In 2007, I was a healthcare hero through the Charleston Business Journal. I moved on to psychiatric nursing, and in 2011, I won a South Carolina Palmetto Gold Award, which is given to 100 nurses yearly. That was a combination for my work in labor and delivery and in psychiatry with Darkness to Light, Walk to Prevent Suicide. I then went to dialysis nursing because going downtown to MUSC every day was killing my car, and dialysis nursing was just up the street. And then after being a dialysis nurse for a while is when I found my love for hospice nursing. And I have been a hospice nurse ever since.
Karen, if I had real pants on, I would stand up right now and give you a standing ovation for all that you have accomplished and done with your life. This right here for everybody who's watching, you can make it happen.
Yeah, and mind you, she was a single mom going through divorce, being ostracized by her family, and trying to get over the trauma of being in a cult.
Yes. You do you, girl. Karen, we know that you have a sister that's still in the House of Yahweh. How does this affect you today?
Honestly, it rips my heart out. I get texts from her every now and then, or I'll send her texts every now and then. And honestly, that was one thing that my ex and my husband agreed on. Honestly, right up until just a couple weeks before Orland died, they both were like, all your sister has to say is come, and we're there. We'll help you build on to your house. Because as the kids got older, a lot of that junk disappears, a lot of that nonsense, and it truly does become about the children. And then as they got older, and now I've got two grandbabies. And so even in January of last year, it was all Chris. All she has to say. Anyway.
Well, I wish I could jump through the camera and give you a hug, because I understand the bond that you have, because I only have one sister. I was blessed enough that my sister left when I left. And I honestly can't even put myself in your shoes, because I don't know. I can't even imagine. I can't fathom. I can't fully relate to that pain. That I can't. But I wish I could take it away for you. I do wish that. Can you tell us some of the most profound ways in which the House of Yahweh has affected your life?
Quite honestly, it has, I don't know if you want to call it positive or negative, but it did make me question everything to this day. I do not take anything at face value. I've been a nurse for 20 years and I still question anything and everything. Anything they want to put in my body, anything, you know, okay, you say this needs to be done. I want pros and cons. You're not getting my informed consent unless you have my informed consent. So start informing me. And that's also how I've raised my children is, you know, don't accept anything at face value. Do what you need to do. Find out what you need to find out. Don't just do something because somebody else says to do it. Know your truth.
This is my favorite part of the interview. What is one of your fondest memories of the House of Yahweh?
Oh no. Quite honestly, it would have to be the day you came up,
Oh gosh,
carrying on about the heat in your Weezer-like overalls and hat, and that has to be one of my fondest memories.
So let me make mine and Karen's relationship a little bit better to everybody. She was also my big sister, so I thought she was so cool to me. And for those that do know me, know I'm just a crazy old woman to begin with. Even when I was young, I've always been cranky. Yay or nay, Mel? True or false?
Yes, moody, cranky. Yeah.
Irritable. Yeah.
And Texas heat is incredible. So Karen was always the one to give me my wine cooler to just sit and listen. So thank you for that being one of your fondest. I'll take it. I will take it.
Karen, what are some of the things that you have done to work towards your own healing from the trauma of being involved in a cult?
Initially, I did seek some counseling from he wasn't certified in PTSD, but he did work with PTSD. So I did seek some counseling. But quite honestly, I found it more therapeutic when I was kind of leading the support group, those for the families of people who had suffered a miscarriage, stillbirth, or early infant death, because I could see their strength and I could draw my own, seeing the parallels between what they were going through. You know, they had lost the biggest thing in their life. They'd lost a child, be it through miscarriage, stillbirth, SIDS. You know, they had lost a part of them. And that was somewhat how I felt. I had lost a part of Karen. I'd lost a part of me. And it was all learning how to try to get that back. And there were good days, there were bad days, there were ups, there were downs. There's still ups and downs and different things that'll all of a sudden trigger me for no freaking reason. And all of a sudden I find myself just, you know.
Well, I can tell you
craziness.
that you're not alone in that being part of your therapeutic healing. I think Autumn and I can both relate to that. And doing what we're doing right now is the same thing, that we're healing through helping to heal others. And there's an amazing gift that gives you that you don't expect, but that is healing you in a way that's unexpected.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. It is very encouraging. Mel and I speak at this often. It is very encouraging to sit back and listen to somebody's story like yours and see it outside of the box, and to be able to look you in the face and tell you how incredible you are, because while you're in the box, you can't see it. There is nothing like Mel and I think just that our high that we get. And what people don't see is there are times Melody is like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what's happening at the works. I'm so excited because it makes us so happy. Thank you for that. Now I might go on to your last question though.
Oh, okay. Well, you kind of already did this a little bit, but do you have any specific message you want to give to anybody in the House of Yahweh, your sister or otherwise, just in general?
To my sister specifically, is that I will always, always, always love you. And you are always, always, always welcome. But to anyone else in particular, please, if you need anything, text me, Facebook me, let me know. If I don't have the means, I will help find somebody with the means. Orland's not here anymore, but there's not a doubt in my mind that my husband wouldn't get in the truck and take off and come help you. My own son, Daniel, he'd probably be riding shotgun down there too. So just know that there are hosts of us out here that have felt that pain and know that insecurity and know that fear and know that just know that there is more beyond that gate. There is more beyond. And there's a bunch of us willing to help.
Yes. Yes, that's the biggest thing, is that knowing that there are resources and there are people willing to help, because I think so many aren't really aware of that. And we try to emphasize that in just about every episode. Just about every episode. There are people there, there are resources there locally that we can hook you up with, even if it's a temporary resource and you're wanting to get somewhere else. You know, I mean, everybody's got, you don't even know where your path is going to go, but believe me, you'll figure it out, and there'll be people there by your side to help you figure it out along the way.
And they may, as Karen's story has shown us, be complete and total strangers. But there is always a village out there waiting to help you, whether you're in the House of Yahweh or another cult. Just reach out. Karen, I thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this story. I thank you so much for allowing us to help and share your story and to just allow people to see what an amazing woman you are. And I am forever humbled and grateful that you are in my life and will remain a part of my life. I love you more than my luggage, girl. And for all those that are watching, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We also have a Facebook page that is also called Leaving the Lies and Speaking the Truth. You can also join that page for updates and inspirational quotes. As always, Melody, I wouldn't want to take this journey with anybody else, and I appreciate the way that you love me through this. Have a fabulous night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Autumn.